Hey guys, what is going on? This is car number 5, and I have another player review for you guys. In this review, we're going to be talking about Noah Syndergaard, starting pitcher for the New York Mets. Here is a look at his attributes: 90 stamina, 81 hits per 9, 87 K per 9, 80 walks per 9. Per 9s are spectacular. It even has 80 clutch. And I'll even go over his individual pitches as well. When they finally added the slider to Noah Syndergaard, I feel like he immediately became a top 3 pitcher. And I still feel like he is. He might even be the best pitcher. I believe it's between him or Arrieta right now. Keep in mind, I haven't tried a lot of the flashbacks like the New Linscomb or whatnot. But yeah, I feel like Syndergaard's definitely up there. And now, talking about his individual pitches, his four-seamer has pretty good break, actually, 76 break. And it can go from anywhere from 97 to 99. His sinker can be thrown at 95, can get up to 96, 97. It only has 54 break, but it still has pretty decent movement. Slider is at 92 miles an hour. That's absolutely insane with 76 break. So that slider is insane. It's a lot like Arrieta's, but it's thrown harder. And his circle change, 86 mile an hour with 69 break, and his curveball, 74 break, 83 miles an hour. So yeah, those are Syndergaard's attributes. I want to show you guys my stats with him thus far. I've had him in my rotation pretty much the whole year. 68 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts. 8 walks. So if you compare this to a pitcher like Strasburg, I do get a lot more strikeouts. Let's see, 57 hits in 68 innings, so that's pretty good. And I have 5 wins with him. And let's look at the ERA and averages. Guys are hitting, our batters are hitting 229. Righties are hitting 183. Lefties are hitting 251. He has a 2.65 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. So I do have a couple gameplay clips I want to talk about and go over. And I also want to show you guys some pitching tips and pitching practice, and we will talk about Noah Syndergaard even more. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, so here we are in pitching practice, and I'm going to give you guys some pointers with Syndergaard, starting with Syndergaard facing the lefty. Now, I believe Syndergaard is very similar to Arrieta. I know I said that in the Arrieta review. The main difference being with Syndergaard is he has a circle change instead of a straight change, which I find to be a little bit more effective against lefties. And I like to throw the circle change away from left-handed hitters, and I like to establish this outside part of the plate. You can throw sinkers away, fastballs away, and circle changes away, and you can throw them not only low and away, but you can throw them middle away and high away, as long as you keep, keep mixing up the eye levels and show the batter pitches from the same arm slots. You can make those pitches just as effective. You guys are probably asking, what do you mean by showing the pitcher the same arm slot? Well, I'll show you what I mean. Say we start a sinker, which looks really similar to a circle change, and we start it about right here. We'll go ahead and throw it. Alright, what I mean by same arm slot is if we threw a changeup in that same exact spot, about right here, we could even throw it down a little bit more because it's going to have a little bit more break to it. It's going to look just like that sinker I just thrown because it's coming from the same arm slot, and it's going to be absolutely nasty. So that circle change, I believe, is a little bit more effective than Arrieta's changeup against lefties, so I think Syndergaard is a bit better against left-handed hitters. So similar to Arrieta, his sinker can just take over games. You can throw it, middle in, combined with that slider middle in. And that slider, think of that slider, guys, more of a cutter than anything. You can really jam hitters with this. But once you establish like high fastballs up in here, either up and in or up right there, and you start to throw the slider about right in there. Again, same arm slot. Looks like it's going to be, say you're throwing a slider right here, it's going to look like a fastball coming in about right in here, about right in there. And a lot of the times that'll either jam them or they'll be swinging early on it because a lot of people are going to have to gear up to hit the fastball. So now talking about his fastball, of course, you want to establish his fastball. It can throw, be thrown up to 99. I don't know if it can touch 100 or not, but you want to establish that fastball, of course, if people can't hit it. You can throw it anywhere. Middle in, low and in, high and in, wherever. As long as you establish that fastball, you can have a lot of good success. And of course, we have the old high fastball curveball combo, which I will try occasionally against left-handed pitchers. I think it works better against not left-handed pitchers, left-handed batters. I think it works better against right-handed batters, though. So similar to Arrieta, the slider sinker combo, middle in against lefties is really well. But I think Syndergaard has a new or I should say an additional dimension to his, you know, pitch sequences you can use, and that is the sinker and circle change away. I think Arrieta, more or less, you had to throw it just straight down. So that circle change and sinker away is a great combo, guys. And don't be scared to throw sinkers high in the zone. It's gonna, you know, mess up a lot of people's PCIs, and they're gonna be off-centered on it, and you're gonna get a lot of weak outs with it, similar to Arrieta. Really, the only thing with Arrieta is his sinker has a lot more movement, and in general, Arrieta just has a little bit more movement on his pitches. Syndergaard just throws a little bit harder. Syndergaard also has a little bit better K per 9, whereas Arrieta has better hits per 9. But that being said, they are very similar pitchers. And now we are facing a righty. Again, similar to Arrieta, use the sinker in. You can also use sliders away, and you can also use sliders like high and in, guys. It's like a cutter where it's going to be thrown so hard. Let's see how hard I can throw this. Let's see the speed on that. That was thrown at 93 miles an hour, so it can almost be used as a cutter. You can also use it, you know, to get swing and misses if they're super early. People will still be chasing it down and away. The slider has, you know, decent break to it. But unlike Arrieta, I feel like Syndergaard's circle change is that nasty that you can use it against righties. You can use it down and in, middle in, so you can kind of combine that with Syndergaard's sinker if you throw it middle in. What you could do is you could throw circle changes down and in, you know, in on the hands a little bit. And again, I keep referring back, you know, same arm slot. If you're showing the same arm slot, it can be a super effective combo. The circle change, sinker, and then of course we still have the slider in on the hands. So if you combine all three of those guys, he's great. And of course, you know, mix in the curveball. I like to throw about, I don't know, 10 to 12 a game, just to keep him honest and respect that high fastball. That's pretty much going to do it for tips of Syndergaard. I'll have a few gameplay clips for you guys as well, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so here are a few gameplay clips, and I was facing a World Series opponent. I think he's still in the World Series, I don't know, but I'm facing a quality opponent nonetheless, pitching, not Arrieta, but pitching Thor. He leads off of Ichiro, and just watch his pitch sequence. I try to challenge him there with a fastball. This next pitch, I like to work that slider in on the hands. Remember guys, it works like a cutter. Almost got him out there. But you can see it can be a super effective pitch. Even if you don't get it in all the way and get swing and misses, it's still really effective. And right there we go, the circle change. He's super early, as you can see the red swing there, so it's very early. So we go back to that same pitch and get him check swinging and get him swinging all the way for a circle. Add that circle change. And that's just an example of why Thor, I think, is a little bit better against, you know, left-handed batters compared to guys like Arrieta and Fernandez. That circle change is just dirty. Next batter, we're gonna go back to the circle change. See my opponent swinging and missing right there. He has a lot of left-handed hitters in his lineup too, so Syndergaard did a very good job against this lineup. So we got him 0-2 count. This is Bryce Harper, and let's see what we go with. Going back to a circle change, fouls it off. And I finally decided to go with a low and in fastball here. And I prefer his fastball to a sinker against lefties most of the time. I just like to throw that fastball down and in. And here we go with a slider. And you see what I mean? You don't always get a strikeout for it, but he was way out in front and barely made contact. And we get an easy out there. Alright, next he has Anthony Rizzo coming up. Again, another lefty. This guy's lineup was almost entirely lefties. We challenged him with fastball in. He checks his swing. And again, we're going to try to work that circle change to lefties. He was really out in front of a lot of those circle changes. The circle change, you know, low fastball, and then the slider down and in every now and then. We throw it again. He's still way out in front. He's looking fastball, and we're not going to give it to him. 2-1, we're going to go with the slider in on the hands. Get him the check swing there. So now we got a 3-1 count. We have to be careful. And this is where I like to mix in those pitches away. We throw a circle change away, actually high and away. He's still way out in front. Kind of a dangerous pitch, but if you can locate, it can be super effective. And then we come right back with the fastball down and in. So that circle change, you know, it slowed down his bat speed a little bit. He had to realize that I could, he could get a circle change anytime in that at bat, and I just challenged him, and he was just a little bit late there. Now we have Carlos Gonzalez up. Again, I start that circle change. He was having so many problems with that circle change. Come right back with another circle change. My opponent didn't do a very good job adjusting. Once he got to 2 strikes, he kept his hands back, and that's usually when I attacked him with fastballs. But early in the count, he was looking fastball almost exclusively. We get him to roll over there on another circle change, and we turn a nice double play. All right, another lefty. So now this is Corey Seager. Now what I did with Corey Seager is I wanted to try something a little bit different. I start off with a high fastball. He fouls it off, gets out of play, but you can see he's really late. So at this point, we have a lot of options. We could go with a slider, middle in. We could go with a curveball. We could also just go back to the circle change. He's still flailing at it. You can tell. You can tell he's looking for that fastball. So we go back to, guess what? Another circle change, and he's still out in front. So, guys, if your opponents do not make the adjustments, there's no reason to change your pitch sequences. Keep going back to it, and we go to another circle change. He's still out front. I can tell. Still way early. So 2-2 count. We're gonna make him earn it, man. And we get him chasing another circle change. So you guys can see right there just how nasty it is. And another left-handed batter. Now I promised there was a right-handed batter in this sequence. My opponent didn't have very many. I think Beltre was the only one. This one we work the slider down and in starting out. We also challenge him here with a fastball up and in. He's not even looking for it right there. We keep him honest. We throw a fastball every now and then up and in. And we also attack him right back with a fastball down and in. You can see my opponent is starting to look for that circle change, and I made the adjustment, and now I'm attacking with fastballs. And we go back to the circle change, and he's out in front. So those are really the only 2 pitches you need against lefties, guys, is fastball, circle change. Now here is a righty. He has Adrian Beltre. We attack him right away with a fastball up and in. And that gets called for a ball. We go right back to a fastball. He's way late. My opponent really struggled hitting righty on righty, I could tell. So we're going to go back middle in and challenge him yet again. And we get a weak grounder to the pitcher. Hits off his foot a little bit, but still weak hit, and we get the out. And we'll have another lefty. I know a lot of lefties, so this should show you guys how effective that circle change is. Just first pitch against that batter. We got a nice easy ground out there with the circle change. Next batter, we come back. This is Ichiro. I pitch Ichiro a little bit different. I try to challenge him. Starting with a fastball up and in, we go right back to it. Now you see, I'm not using the sinker as much as I would with Arrieta, so that's really what the main difference is. I like this sinker-slider combo with Arrieta, and with Thor, I like more of the fastball and circle change combo. So we got a 2-1 count on Ichiro. Again, I just want to challenge him, see if he can hit it. He's not even looking to hit it. At this point, he's just trying to get on base with Ichiro. He has no outs. He's probably going to do a hit and run or something. I slide step. You can tell there he was trying to look fastball, but he was check swinging a little bit out in front. So we got a 3-2 count. We have a lot of options here. I'm just going to attack him, except I'm going to keep it down and in. And he is late again, so that's going to be a weak fly out to left field.